In this video, I'm going to do something huge, something I've never really done before, and I hope this is going to be very exciting and you're going to learn a lot from this. I'm going to redesign Divi University. Now, I'm sure you can all agree that it's time now to really grab the bull by its horns and just get on with it. If we take a look at this website, it's very confusing. There isn't much going on. If someone lands here, they're not sure what they need to do. I knew that this website needed a lot of work. The only thing that's really working here is the community because it's a separate plugin. But around the community, the pages around the community, there's no consistency and it's not well designed. So I wanted to challenge myself and design something that was a bit edgy, but at the same time, something that we can use our design system on and come up with a unique looking website. So I went to ChatGPT. I gave it this prompt. I said to it, take a look at diviuniversity.com and design a high-end website that looks like it was designed by a professional design agency. Include very important pages and suggested copy. I want the site to be clean and easy to navigate. It needs to be like a 15K website. Now I just put that in there just to make sure that, at least I give more context to it. So here's what happens now. It says I've reviewed the site, blah, blah, blah. And the homepage currently promises to help freelancers and agencies master Divi 5. And now it's recommending me, it's telling me the problem with that is the rest of the website does not consistently reinforce that promise. I mean, do you see how AI has now started giving us the tools that we need to help us do what we need to do? And now I know a lot of people are scared of AI. They say, oh, AI is taking our jobs and so on and so forth. Well, we're not there yet. And you shall see in this video what I mean by that. So anyway, so here it's talking about a diagnosis it's done that all these products, all these pages, there's just too much cognitive load. Okay, it's making people even more confused when they come to the website. And I can see it from the stats. So what I did was I asked it to design a website for me. This is what it came up with. Now, here I asked it to give me some placeholder images, which is fine. But already we can see that this design here is a much cleaner design. And it starts everything with the Krafter Lite or the Krafter design system, which is free. Okay, it has less features. It just gets you up and running super fast. And I believe that when we design websites with Divi, we need a design system. So that's the approach that we are going to be taking here. So this is the download Krafter Lite for free. Okay, and then here we have a bit more information. A better starting point for every Divi 5 project. There's going to be a video here and it describes why we need that. And then again here, it's describing what comes with it. And then further down here, it's saying download the free starter and begin building with a more structured Divi 5 foundation. And then it's telling us again what you get with Krafter 5, and this is the opt-in. Further down here, there's also more, and this now talks about Divi University. Okay, and then we also have this is for someone who wants to go deeper and perhaps they want to learn a bit more. There's Divi University here and there's KrafterPRO. Now, if we take a look at the navigation here, now, of course, the community is missing. That's fine. But over here on the navigation, we have the Divi University Plus. Now, this is going to be opening very, very soon, perhaps maybe next week. Okay, so this is a structured training, practical support, and a professional community for freelancers, agencies who want to build stronger websites and a better business. So basically, if you are a Divi University Plus member, you get everything like courses, the support, live workshops, professional community, pretty much everything. Okay, I haven't finalized the prices here, but this is for the Divi University membership. You also get all the templates and pretty much everything that's needed for Divi 5 to become awesome. All right. Next, we have our KrafterPRO. So KrafterPRO, this is for anyone that just wants the design system. So the design system here does not come with all the courses and pretty much everything else around Divi University. So this is pretty much the design system. Okay. So there'll be a description here. It goes into detail what it's going to be like. And again here, we're going to revise these pricing, the prices. This is what ChatGPT gave me, but I am going to have a version which has up to 5 licenses or maybe up to 3 licenses, which is much cheaper. Okay. But already I can start to see a bit of structure now. I mean, it's much more clearer, and I'm sure you can agree with me. Anyway, if you don't agree, please let me know in the comments box below. Next, we have our services. Now, services are also very, very important. Okay, so here, Divi 5 migration, that's one of my services. Website audits, this is something I'll also be doing. KrafterPRO implementation, I can do that as well. Private consulting, this is something I'll be adding as well. So you can see here when I say book, it takes me to this page and you can book a session from here. But do you realize that we have consistency here in the header area? All right, this is what I was looking for. All right, I really like this. So these are the topics that we can go in and choose. Okay, now let's go to our resources. So here, this is the blog. So we have all our latest blogs here, and they're going to be categorized into separate categories. But you see where we're going with this. It looks like everything now is really coming together. If I come over here, okay, this is, I've done that already. This is the search results page. You can see here, the layout looks really nice. I like the fact that I can hover over these things here. It just gives it a nice little touch to it. So this is the search results page. The courses page is going to look like this, right? Again, pretty nice. I'll be adding more to this as well. And it tells us what this is about. So Divi 5, this is where we have the Divi mastery course and so on. And then we're also going to have design courses, workflow courses, and so on. Right, moving on, we also have a 404 page. Now this was what it's going to look like. And I think this is a much better design as compared to what we have before. Now, all this needs to be designed. So it's going to be really fun. Finally, we have the dashboard. So here we can have welcome Mac, blah, blah, blah. And then when we come over here, it's telling us where KrafterPRO is, the courses, the community, the account, resources, support, tools I use. And you can also leave a review. And then over here, I'm not sure if we have this feature. I'll have to double check if we have this. And of course, you can open a ticket from here. All right, so you can see there's a lot going on here. So the question now you're probably asking is, well, how are you going to build this? Are you going to put this on the staging side? What's going to happen? So the approach with this website is going to be slightly different. This website is coming close to about between 25 and 30 gig. So majority of the weight of this website is on the community. There's a lot happening on the community. So to just quickly make a staging side of that, yes, I could do that. But since these pages are going to be pages outside the community, I've decided to build this website on a staging site, which is separate, which has nothing much going on it. And then I'll show you how I'll be adding these pages onto this website. All right, so let's discuss the tools I'll be using. So the first tool I'll be using here is ZipWP. This is a go-to. I've been using this for about 2 years now. It is fantastic. If you're a freelance designer or a design agency, definitely you want to take a look at this. I'll leave a link to that in the video description below. So I've already gone ahead and created a blank website, and creating one is very easy. You just click here on create new, and then you say blank website, you install Divi on it, and this is what you get here. So I'm going to go in. Boom, just like that. And we are now going to log into our website. So right now there's nothing going on here. All I have is Divi installed. So if I come over here to themes, you'll notice that we have Divi installed. Now, before we even start, what I usually do is I come in here and I delete all these, right? Because they just add more weight to my website. And to be honest, for me, it's a distraction. So I'd rather have, I'd rather delete them all in one go. All right, so I'll just leave these two, that's fine. So what I want to do next is to install our design system. I really want to emphasize this. With Divi 5, trying to design without a Divi, without a design system is almost impossible, okay? That is not a way forward, it's not a strategy. So what I'm going to do now is to show you how to install the design system. So over here on Divi University, now in your case, if you purchase KrafterPRO, you go to your dashboard and then you want to go to account, okay? And then you can see all these are all my products. So what you want to do is to go to downloads. This is the latest version, KrafterPRO 2.1.8. You download this, okay? And then once you download this, you copy your license from here, and then you go onto your website and install it. So what I'm going to do is to go to my plugins, click on add plugin, upload plugin. Then I want to go to my downloads folder, and here we go. That's KrafterPRO 2.1.8. Double click on that and then click install now. Activate the plugin. Excellent. So now I need these two files that I need. And that is where my presets and my design system are going to reside. So right now I'm working on the update to this version. It's going to go to version 3. Usually what you do is you go to your downloads here. This is where you get your style guide. So you click here to download it. Okay. And you can see this is our style guide. And this is what we use to install. So here we go. This is the style guide. So what you do is you go to import and then you drag and drop the style guide over here. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is to preview. So now it'll show you what is going to be installed. So you can see it has color variables, it has font variables, and so on. These are the colors. But you know what? I do not want to do that because I have the latest files, like I mentioned. Once I do the update, you're going to be able to download it from here, which makes it easier. But I've sent out a separate file which has the design system. Let me just find it here. So here it is. I'm going to double click into the Divi design system. We have these two files. So there's the presets and the variables, okay? So the first one here is going to be the presets. Drag and drop it in here. We're going to do a preview. Now notice that right now I'm overriding everything, okay? But if you want to keep your presets, you can use the merge option, okay? So I'm going to go to preview. Then I'm going to say confirm and import. So now it's importing my presets. That's pretty cool. Next, I want to do my variables. So I'm going to click on that. Drag and drop my variables here. Now, if you drop it in any of these, it still works fine. Okay, don't worry about that. So I'm going to do a quick preview, scroll all the way down. Like all these are the colors that will be coming through, which is fantastic. And that's my complete design system. I want to say confirm and import. Excellent. So now I have all my presets. I have all my colors. I'm pretty much ready to go. So with this now, this is where if you want, you can do a quick backup. So you can always come over here to export. You download the design system and save it. But of course, we don't need to do that right now because we haven't created anything extra. Okay. Right. So now that we have this, it's time now to start designing our website. So I'm going to come over here to pages and add page. So we're going to start off with the home page, or let's just call it home. Use Divi Builder. All right. So over here, we have the page manager. Oh, looks like I have two homes. Right. Let's move this to trash. I only have one. Now, this is where if you want, you can go in and start adding all your pages here. So let's say you want to add the dashboard. I can say dashboard, add the page. I can also add the blog page. That I know I have a page called tools I use. But you see how easy it is to go in and add your pages. Okay, I can just drag and drop it here on the top. Okay, next I also have, what else do I have? Okay, we have the dashboard. Okay, I think I'm okay for now. All right, so these are the pages that I have. I'm going to close out of here. The next thing I'm going to do is to add my fonts. So I'm going to come over here. I usually use pop-ins, but I want to do something different here because when I look at my site, I realize that it has different fonts. So this one here is called Manrope. So I'm going to go in and search for Manrope. That, and here it is. I'm going to select that. And for my body, I am going to use Manrope as well. Here it is. And I'm pretty much cool with that. I'm going to save, apply changes, and then I'm just going to get out of here. Now, I haven't noticed this. Product updates. This is a new feature. So they now have videos within the actual builder itself. This is very interesting. Okay. That's a bit handy. Right. So at this stage now, this is where we can say, right, we can start designing our site. And I am going to add these side by side so that at least I can see what I'm doing. So here I have this text, I've got this heading, and then I have text, and then I have a button. So that's what we need to replicate over here. So I am going to go in and add two columns. So we have text. After that, we have heading. And then we have text after that. So I'm just going to duplicate this one, drag it into place. like that. Okay. And what else do we have after that? Okay, it's the button after that. So we're going to go in, add our button. Okay, so we have our 3 elements. So far, so good. So now I'm just going to copy this. Okay, Divi University. And that's what this text is going to be. Now make sure you've selected the text tab here. And then I'm just going to paste it. Oh, it hasn't brought it in. But anyway, let's just type it in. It's Divi University. Okay. Now, build better websites with Divi 5. I'm going to copy that and we're going to paste it over. Now, this is the heading this time. Okay. So make sure you set the right item. Now we have the description text. We're going to go in and paste it in here. Now, at this stage, it's just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Okay, so we have the button, and then after the button, we also have this text. So we're going to copy it and paste it over here. Now, you may be saying, but Mac, why do we have to redesign this website? Because right now, when I look at this, it looks really nice. It looks now this is in HTML. Okay, this is not in WordPress. This is why it needs to be redesigned. It's very, very important. If you take a look here at the top, it says index.html. So I've used AI to give me an idea of a nice design, but when it comes to putting it together, I want to put it where I have full control with my design system over here. All right, so with my design system now, I'm going to go into the first text here. This is going to be an eyebrow, so I'm going to come over here and select that. Okay, so do you see that? Okay, the spelling is wrong, but I think that looks great. Okay, that needs a bit more spacing. Do you see that? And it is also smaller, but I'm okay with my size right now. So I'm going to go in to my text here, and for letter spacing, let's increase it a little bit. Okay, let's go with 0.5. No, that's a bit too much. 0.3. Right. So you see that we have our eyebrow here, which is from my design system. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create my own design system, but based on what I have here. So this is what you do. This is the workflow. You click on this eyebrow, you duplicate it. Okay. And then I'm just going to call these M, okay? M eyebrow, because this is going to be my own that works with this website. So now I'm going to get rid of this one. So with this in the design here, letter spacing, get rid of that. We're going to say 0.3. I think we said 0.3. Press enter and we're going to save the preset. All right. So if I come back over here, if I go to my K eyebrow, okay, that's what we had before. Let me just make sure that I save it as it was, okay? So that's what we had before, the K eyebrow that comes with the design system. So now I want my M eyebrow. Get rid of this one. Okay, so I'm not sure why this has happened, but let's go in and fix that. Sometimes you may need to go in and make sure you have the right settings. Okay, so it looks like the text letter spacing here needed to be adjusted. So I'm going to save this preset right now. Okay, so let's test it one more time. I'm going to come over here. Let's put M. Right, do you see that it's working now? Fantastic. Okay, next we're going to come over here to the the heading. So for our heading, the size that I want here is nice and big. So let's try this. Okay, K display. If we look at the design here, it's bolder. Do you see that? But it's the same font. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to click in here and duplicate this. I want to get rid of this one. Right. So with this one here, let's call it M display, because we're going to give it a different size. Now, there's something I need to explain in a moment, which is very, very important. Right, so here we have bold, but let's try ultra bold. Okay, that's not working. Okay, heavy is not working. Right, so it looks like this font doesn't really go crazy in terms of size, which is strange. Now, sometimes it happens with the fonts. So what I'm trying to do here is to customize my text here so it's the right size. So it looks like my letter spacing needs to be reduced a little bit. So I'm going to go with, I think minus 3 is fine. Okay. And I also noticed that my variable font, I can only go to 800. If you look at that, 800 is the maximum. Okay, so let's try something else here. I'm going to now save this as a preset. Okay, so now that I've saved that, let's see what happens when I choose medium. So I think we're going to have the same problem. It doesn't really become very, very bold. All right, that's fine. So we're going to go with M display S. All right, no problem. So far, so good. I'm going to come over here to my paragraph text, and I'm going to go to my text here and then choose body. This one here seems nice, but you know what? I might need to increase the line height. Yes. Do you see that the line height here is increased? We need to do that too. So with this selected, I'm now going to head over to my text here and then text line height 4.5. Okay. I think 1.5 works great. And then there isn't much I'm changing here. So I'm going to now click here and update and say yes. All right. Now let's take a look at our button. So our button doesn't have any rounded corners. It's a straight black button. Okay. It doesn't have any animation. It just moves when you hover over it. Okay. That's fine. So we are going to go into this button here and redesign it. So I'm going to go in K button primary. I'm going to duplicate that. Let's give it a name. So I'm going to say M button primary. Now, very soon, we're also going to do the colors. We need to go in and change the colors as well. All right. So now that we have our button here, I'm going to go to the button border. So here we can set this to 0, as you can see here. Let's take a look again. This one is slightly bigger, so it looks like my text needs to be bolder. So I'm going to go to my text, variable weight. We're going to increase that to about 800. And then we need to add some letter spacing. I think it's taking shape now. Now, these are minor changes, minor details, but they are very, very important. Let's take a look here and see. Yeah, I think we are very close. But if not, you can just say 0.5. Okay, we've just reduced it a little bit. Now, for the size, let's see. We're not too bad. What size do I have here? Small. Let's try body text. No, that's too big. It's too big. But at the same time, I want my buttons to be bold as well. Okay, let's go to our variable weight here. Bring it down a bit. I think we can bring it up to about 600 here. Right. Okay. I think I'm going to go with that. Okay. So we're going to leave it at 600. And now I'm going to say save preset. Excellent. And then this text here, I'm going to go into my text. This needs to be small text. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. All right, great. So now that I have this all set, I'm going to go into my row settings, make sure that this is set to my content width. Boom. Excellent. Now let's take a look and see what the breathing space is like. Okay. I think that's I can go with large here. Okay. So I'm going to go to my section. I want to set this to large. Oh, let's try medium. Yeah, I think medium can work too. All right, so far so good. What I'm going to do next is to adjust my spacing over here in the design. So I'm going to go into my row settings, layout. No, we need to go to content, elements, and then in the first column here, we're going to go to design. And then over here in the layout, we're going to say gap 0. So we removed the gap everywhere, pretty much everywhere, because we need to go in and add our own sizes. So just looking at this, I can see roughly what I need to do. Okay, we're going to start with this. And then we're going to go to our spacing here. We want our margin top. Let's go with medium, or maybe that's a bit too much. Let's go with margin top small. Yeah, we're going to go with small. And then over here, we want, to add a much bigger gap. So I'm going to go in and say margin top medium. Okay. And then between the button and the paragraph text, that can be small. So we're going to go to spacing again and then margin top small. Okay, I like that. And then over here, spacing, margin top, let's see, extra small. Okay, let's take a look at the design here. All right, we're not too far off. Yes, I think we can do with that. Okay, great. Now over here, we're going to have a graphic, right? So we might have a video, we might have an image. We're not sure yet. Okay, so let's add a placeholder image like that. All right, so that's our main section here. Okay, so that's our main section, and this is how we build it. Now, if you haven't noticed, if we were not using the presets here and we were doing everything manually, this was going to be a headache. Over here is where we have all our variables. So if you go to our numbers, we have all these numbers here. This is what's driving our design. Without this, it's going to be pretty much almost impossible to design this website the way we want. All right, so I've shown you briefly how to set everything up. In the next episode, we're going to continue on with our design, and I'll show you how to add all the other sections and so on. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for episode 2.